What's up, guys? Welcome to an episode of ER100. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to get over the feeling of failure when it comes to business / entrepreneurship. And you guys already know, when I make my videos, I'm making them from a personal point of view and what I'm going through at the current time as an entrepreneur, and I try to share as much value as I can right back to you, okay? And by the way, I'm using this point of view of the camera, the selfie type thing, because I couldn't find my regular stand, so bear with me on this new perspective. Hope you guys love it, okay? So the whole topic of this video is how to deal with business failure, or should I just say the feeling of failure? Because most of the time when it comes to failure, it's actually mostly about your feelings and mindset more than it is actually what's happening out there. Because when you're going towards something you really believe in at that current moment, you're not going to see what's going to be the end route of the different things. Because when you look at the people you look up to, like literally look at all of them. Like for example, Jeff Bezos, I believe he was flipping burgers at the age of 23. So who'd have thought that he would end up becoming one of the richest people in the world, which is not the big deal here, but becoming one of the people who end up becoming the top innovators, and he ended up doing exactly what he loves doing, okay? But the other people, like for example, Jack Ma, who was, I believe he was like a college teacher or something like that, or an English teacher, and he was also even failed towards even getting a job at KFC. So you can imagine all the different people had ambitious dreams and goals, and at that current moment when you're going through that situation, they really cannot see where they're going to be headed or how things are going to work out. So they might have had a feeling of failure, but they actually had not failed. Because if you really think about it when it comes to life, failure is basically when you're making mistakes and then you end up stopping. Okay, so for example, if Jack Ma or Jeff Bezos decided, like, you know what, there's no way I'm gonna start the next big business. For crying out loud, I'm flipping burgers right now. How can I do it? Okay, now if he had decided to just stop right there, then yes, that would have been a failure. But guess what? He made mistakes after mistakes, and he had feelings of failure. But at the end of the day, he never let those feelings get in the way. He kept pushing forward and pushing through. So that's why this video is very, very important for different entrepreneurs, and not even just entrepreneurs. Anyone out there who's living life, you're gonna be going through days like this, or even months, and sometimes it might even feel like a year or years of feeling about it. In today's video, I just want to make a couple of 3 tips that I've been able to learn from the last 6 months of kind of going through that foggy mindset and kind of trying to get back to my OG hustle mindset, okay? So the first thing that I was able to learn is basically, do not let instant gratification get in the way. That is the #1 hindrance when it comes to people becoming successful or really progressing in life. Because when you start measuring where you are at in life based on daily movements or weekly movements or even monthly movements or even yearly movements, you're really not going to be able to push forward. Now, here's the thing about me. I'm a long-term thinker. I am all about the patience hustle, but sometimes you end up kind of getting a little bit in a hurry. So this is the first thing I want to tell you when it comes to the whole thing about instant gratification. You basically are a human being and you are going to seek after instant gratification. It's going to happen. But there's different types of instant gratifications. There's positive ones and there's negative ones. So positive instant gratifications can basically be something like this. If you write down 20 daily goals today, finish all 20 daily goals. But do not measure based on, oh, by the end of the day, I did not make $500 like I wanted to make, or by the end of this month, I'm not a millionaire. Those are negative instant gratifications, right? For example, if you're trying to work out and your instant gratification is like, hey, I need to get the same 6-packs as, I don't know, The Rock, and he's been working out for basically almost his entire life, and you're comparing your results with a person like him, that's not the right instant gratification. But a good instant gratification is basically you saying something like, hey, by the end of this week, I just want to be able to run for at least 20 minutes. You got to find something that's going to be doable and something that's going to be progressive. Guys, positive instant gratification is all about building blocks, not trying to build a mansion in a day or a snap of your fingers. So that's the first thing you want to make sure when you're thinking about your long-term thinking and how you can be able to get over the feeling of failure. Because the feeling of failure only comes through when you're measuring yourself or putting yourself into standards that are not really realistic. If you put yourself in realistic standards, you're gonna be killing it each and every day. And guess what's gonna happen? 10 years later, that thing you're really trying to go towards, even 20 years later, you'll be able to hit it. Oops. Guys, 1 second. Something is... Oh, sorry about that, guys. Phone went off. Anyway, back to the video. I literally thought it was like an alarm clock or my speakers were going off randomly, but yeah, just my phone. All right, guys, so let's head over to the #2 tip that I have for you guys, okay? So the #2 is basically you are on your own clock. Okay, let me repeat that. You are on your own clock, because when you really think about when it comes to what makes people feel like a feeling of failure is when they're comparing themselves to other people. So you might look at another entrepreneur who is like younger than you, maybe 18 years old, even 16 years old, and they made $600,000 last year in sales in their business, and you're sitting there, you're like, man, I'm 30 years old and I'm not doing that? Like, what's happening? Now, here's the thing. And here's why I'm going to go back to Jeff Bezos and Jack Ma. Jack Ma, until the age of 34, I believe is when he started his first company. Now, of course, there's other entrepreneurs who've been able to hit the $1 billion mark in sales in their companies at the age of 21 or even at the age of like, you know, in their 18-year-olds. Because, for example, I believe some of the people who started Stripe company, they're pretty young and they're able to create a pretty big company around the ages of 20, right? So, of course, the recent one is really Snapchat. Now, Jack Ma has built a business that's very big. And for him, if he decided that, hey, look, I'm 30 years old and I'm teaching students English and I'm trying to start this big company and I don't even have a company, and here goes Mark Zuckerberg running a company at the age of like 25, wherever it might be, and you're feeling a feeling of failure, guess what? Jack Ma did not let that stop him. He knew he was going to go after what he's trying to go after regardless of how old he is. So when it comes to you and your hustle, the biggest thing is hustle on your own clock. Do not let other people's age or age of when they accomplish something and you think that you need to accomplish that age. Trust me, guys, you can go through those feelings, like especially when you've been working super hard. Those feelings are going to come and play, and all you have to simply do is remind yourself what matters the most is you're happy going after towards what you love, and sooner or later things will click. It just doesn't have to click on your own time. It's just going to happen when it needs to happen. All right? And that's a really huge big deal right there, because it goes back to the first instant gratification. If you're trying to get a hot body like The Rock or one of your favorite person you look up to like Beyonce, whatever it might be, like don't look at like their age and be like, I need to be at that age. No, you need to look at how much work they've put in, because The Rock started working out from a really young age. Okay, so don't try and compare yourself to him if you've only started working out literally 2 months ago or 3 months ago, even 2 years ago, even 5 years ago. Different gameplay here. Okay, so the final third part is this, guys, and I believe this is probably the one part that's been able to really help me get back up. And when I'm getting punched in the face over and over, it is literally, you are one step away from being able to get that thing you want. Okay, even if the steps are literally 10,000 steps, it means you're always one step away. Because if you are not climbing up that freaking staircase up one step at a time, guess what? You're forever never one step closer to accomplishing your goal. Because it goes back to the whole timing thing, right? Things happen when they happen, and you never quite know when they're gonna happen. So if you decide to stop at step number 9,000, and 9001 was gonna be the key step to get you to where you need to get to, guess what? You just missed out on the opportunity, and it was only a step away. Now, you might be like, well, Steve, I just basically began yesterday. So how can I be a step away from becoming successful? Well, go back to the whole same thing I just told you. You're always one step away from opening up the next door. So even if the next door or the next step you take is gonna end up basically getting you punched right in the face or punched right in the tummy, whatever it might be, you're like, dude, I've been hustling hard. I've been putting in that work ethic. I've been killing it. And literally this week, I just felt like I just been going backwards. You're never really going backwards as long as you're striving towards improving yourself. There are going to be moments where you face setbacks, moments where you're going to feel like you're moving backwards. But the reason why it feels like you're moving backwards is basically your brain is kind of like rewinding things and kind of trying to see, okay, what happened here? Think about this for a second, guys. When players like LeBron James or Messi are playing basketball and they end up losing a game, you know what they usually do? They take a step back. Okay, they're not taking literally a step back in their progress, but they take a step back by analyzing the game they just came from playing and looking at what exactly happened out there in the field, and then they're able to go to the next game and be able to apply the things they look back on that step back and get moving forward. So when I'm talking about you taking a step forward, it does mean sometimes that step forward is literally you taking a glance behind, seeing where you came from, seeing what mistakes you made, and coming back and using those lens focus and being able to, you know, the lens focus, I don't even know how that made sense. But basically you focusing on exactly what worked and seeing what didn't work and avoid that the next time. So those are the big 3 key things I have for you guys when getting over the feeling of failure. I'm actually going to retitle this video to just getting over the feeling of failure. It's not about just business or entrepreneurship. I feel like this is just basically about life. All right. And guys, once again, I make my videos from the bottom of my heart because it's basically what I've been going through, and I'm able to go through it, and I'm able to basically learn from it, and I'm able to look at other different people, like for example, Jeff Bezos, Jack Ma, and other entrepreneurs who I look up to, and of course, people who are close to me that I look up to as well, and I see what worked for them, and I look at my life, I look at it, and I apply it, and then I come back on a video, and I drop the comment. Wait, I dropped the video, and then you drop the comment. You see, my mind was trying to get ahead of y'all. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you guys were okay with this perspective of recording the video. Hope you guys love the new quality of video and stuff like that. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, like button, share button, and of course, you guys have definitely been subscribing because we just hit 2,000 subscribers, which is an amazing feeling. So I should definitely make like a 2K subscriber video. I'll probably make that next time, okay? But anyway, guys, thank you much for watching. Peace out. More content about to be coming at you with a punch. And my hand is not getting tired because I'm using my hand to record. It's about to be 11 minutes. I love this camera. I can finally see because I've been using my phone. Okay, let me not rant about my whatever. I've been using a phone camera. It's usually hard to tell what time the clock is running, but now I can be able to tell that. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching. A peace to the out. I just said peace out like maybe 100 times. So yeah, I don't blame you if you already stopped watching the video. What am I doing? Why am I still talking? Peace out. For real this time.